Here we go. I'm Myckena Guerrero with the Solano College Sports Network, and this is another edition of It's More Than Just Sports right here on the Solano College Sports Network. Today I'm joined with two very special guests, Sheryl Cutler and Heather Henry. Thank you both for joining me here today.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So could you guys kind of explain your roles and what you do for the community?
Sure. My name's Heather Henry. I'm the President and Executive Director at the Workforce Development Board of Solano County. And
I'm Sheryl Cutler. I'm the Program Analyst for the One-Stop Centers, the job centers.
So when did you both realize that you wanted to work for the Workforce Board?
Well, for me, it was a while back, re-entering the workforce after parenting, and I took some assessment tests. And the one thing that was focused, well, there were several things: public administration and recruiting and HR, but also clergy. So my role encompasses all of those things, and that was a few years back.
workforce development is important to me because I think it really is a good blend between helping the economy of an area and helping those that are more vulnerable in the population. So it blends kind of that strengthening the business as well as helping those that need to get back into the workforce. I'm particularly excited about being here in Solano County because it is an area that holds a lot of promise for job seekers being connected in the community and some of the resources that are available here.
And that's what I was going to lead to. So what does work look like here in Solano County?
Sure. So we have a couple of key industries in Solano County. One of our staple industries is the most stable industry, and that's healthcare. So there's always opportunities in the healthcare industry here in Solano County. We also have very unique industry, particularly in manufacturing. So in the food and beverage chain, anywhere from agriculture through the distribution of it, as well as more advanced materials that may include things like biotechnology. And then the last piece of that is that we are in a unique spot from a transportation and logistics standpoint. So there's lots of opportunities for drivers and for logistics and warehousing here in Solano.
So do you guys have a lot of job seekers come to you and ask you for help?
Hundreds every day. We have 2 job centers. Our comprehensive job center is in Vallejo, which has the most traffic and the greatest need. And in Fairfield, we have a job center right next door to the campus here, and we have satellite opportunities at the public libraries as well. So we get daily visitors anywhere from 50 to 200, 300 a day.
Is there a certain age group that you guys work with, or is it kind of all ages?
Well, we serve older youth from ages 16 to 24. We have special programs for that population. And anybody 18 years older and better, 18 or better, there's different opportunities for those. So I would say the average job seeker is anywhere between 25 and 65.
And can you guys explain the America's Job Center of California?
Sure. So there are kind of 2 pieces to what we do at the Workforce Development Board. One is the job center is open to anyone that can come in and get a variety of services that Sheryl can talk more about. And then we also have more intensive programs that are focused on populations that are either 16 to 24 or that are adult populations. So Sheryl is a big part and a big asset to our universal services. You want to talk about that?
Yes. For people who are not sure what they want, not sure what they qualify for, or not sure how to get what they want, we have universal services. So we have resources on education, job training, part-time jobs, full-time jobs. We have intensive programs as well. But for the basic customer, usually just help with resume, help with getting started, help with getting unemployment benefits or state disability benefits. Sometimes people just need a little help with preparing for an interview. Those are the main services that we offer.
So what program would you recommend for someone that was going to a community college or a 4-year, just trying to get by?
So we offer some services for individuals that are currently in programs. For example, with Solano Community College, we work with some of the nursing students to help support kind of the needs that they have outside of training, and then to be able to connect them with work after they leave. So we work with people to help them get into the community college, and then we can also help take those skills and either add an industry recognized certification to that mix, or to help them use that to get into a work experience opportunity.
And how do you guys kind of help the community get the jobs out there, or just to let people know that there are jobs available in the community?
Do you want to take that one?
Sure, I'll start, and then
Okay.
you can add to it. So we do a lot of kind of systems work and working with a lot of partners to be part of these larger workforce conversations, and how we can address things such as transportation issues that people might have, how we make sure that our training aligns with our industry needs, what's coming down the pike from a business perspective, and we work with a lot of our partners around that standpoint. We do have business service representatives that actually connect strongly with the business community, with our chambers, with industry associations, and then we take that information and we share it with job seekers in a variety of forms. So we are connected on social media. We are revamping our website to be user-friendly. We share that information through our enrolled programs, through things like job clubs and veteran networks and workshops that we may have. And then we also have a good distribution to our community and job seekers. Do you want to talk more about that?
Distribution with community and job seekers. We do participate in adult education activities, certain tracks, pathways for, let's say, for medical, as we were talking about. So we go to the schools where those certificates are offered and do let people know that we are out in the community. We do have partner agencies which offer a variety of services that we connect with. So if you were to walk into the job center and need help in a different area, we do carry the message that way as well.
And you guys,
one of the great things that Sheryl does is I think she knows more people in the community than anyone else in our staff, and has really utilized that strength in putting together things like resource fairs and getting on her distribution list. You can find out anything that's happening from a workforce standpoint in the community as well.
I forgot to mention, we do work with a population of people reentering society from after being incarcerated, and there's a lot of people, adults, in that category. So we do outreach with the jails, probation, and parole as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So when it comes to trying to help someone find a job, do you interview them first or talk to them on the phone, or do you have them fill out something online just so you kind of get an idea of who they are and what they're kind of wanting to do?
The best way to serve people is to have them come in and talk face-to-face, either in a public library or in the job center. It's very difficult to assist someone on the phone or in email or something like that. And our universal services are designed for one-on-one or in small groups, or even recruitment events that are available as well.
And
I think one of the reasons for that is that it's such a customized approach to what a job seeker might need. They might need support on interviewing. They might need support and just kind of talking through things. So that customized approach really does help with that. Another way that people can connect is through our CalJobs website. And that's kind of a virtual way to connect to some of the services as well, so that people can put on their resume and be connected to a virtual network of employers that are hiring at that moment as well.
And you kind of talked about interviews. Do you give them advice on how they should prepare for an interview, or how they should dress, or anything like that?
We give them information. We give them access to information. We encourage them to practice. We give them space to do that. We give them internet access, et cetera, and even encourage them to support each other. That happens a lot of times in job clubs, job networking clubs, but we don't actually give advice. And we don't offer placement.
In our universal services. And then
Correct.
if you want more intensive services, we do have a Job Connect program that's specific for people that don't necessarily need that training, but need that retooling in their job search capabilities. And they do a lot of mock interviews. They the business service reps tell them some of the things that they're hearing in the business network. For example, how often to follow up and whether or not you should send balloons or a card.
What is too much?
Yeah, what's too
Right.
much. So they do more one-on-one in our more intensive services, and that's really where that job coaching piece is important.
Yeah, I think it's important too, because no matter if you've done 100 interviews or one interview, you're really nervous. Do you guys kind of remember your first interview, your first job interview?
Wow. I remember the first one that stuck out to me, and I remember the first question I answered wrong, and I'm like, I should have done
What was that
differently.
question?
Well, I was just coming out of a 4-year university, and they asked me about my background.
Okay.
And that's always that's often your first question, an opportunity to kind of show your background. And I went too personal with that question, and they looked around a little bit, and they're like, "What is she talking about?" And that really stuck out in my memory. And one of the things that we teach and share at the Workforce Board is to keep it focused on your professional background rather than your personal background.
Exactly. Cheryl, do you remember yours?
I can recall when I first moved to Solano County. I interviewed, and I was actually hired. I was interviewed twice with a recruitment agency, an international firm, and I was very nervous. And one of the questions, actually several of the questions were very detailed, and the district manager was there as well as the manager, the service manager. And I don't even remember the questions. I just remember being so nervous, and after the interview, reviewing over and over every word that I said, and I was so stressed out until I got the call that said, "Yes, you are hired." And I thought, wow,
You're like
how did
in
that
shock?
happen? Yes. So it's a matter of just being prepared. What kind of questions that I knew that they were going to ask. I didn't want to sound too prepared, but I did think about what do they really need and how can I make them look good.
So on your website, do you kind of put on like a different questions that they might ask sort of thing?
Some of the websites that we have some of the job boards they have a variety of practice questions and answers, and we have all kinds of resources once you're in the job center.
The number one thing that I would say for interviews, though, is that the more research and the more you can know about the particular place that you're going for and the particular work that you're doing, any question that's thrown at you, you'll be able to answer. So there might be some standard questions that people ask, but a lot of businesses are moving towards behavioral questions and tell us about a time when you did. So the more that somebody understands their own strengths and their own background, the better off they will be.
We do offer workshops in LinkedIn, and that seems to be a very valuable tool for
Yes.
gathering information about companies. You can even contact people that used to work at that company or that currently work for that company. You can contact the recruiters and see their profiles. It's very helpful in preparing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So a question that I have is, why should job seekers seek you guys and your particular websites to help find a job?
You want to start?
Yes. I would say because having been a job seeker myself, it's lonely when you're sitting at home and just on your internet and doing your thing at home. It's good to get dressed and go somewhere daily, if not weekly. Even if it's a public library or out and about in a coffee shop. So offering supportive people, supportive, environment, it's just good to go and connect that way. And you always do find something new or a new job lead or a new opportunity, even to help other people. So that's why I say it's extremely valuable to get out.
What
That's
about
a
for
very
you?
good point, because that peer exchange when you're job searching is very important. Networking is very important, and the more that you can expand your network as a job seeker, the better off you will be. And one of the strengths that we have at the Workforce Development Board is that we have that direct connection with employers. So we are hearing from employers on a regular basis about what they're looking for. We know kind of what the trends are going to be from an industry standpoint that an average job seeker may not know. So it gives them kind of almost an inside guide into Solano County specific employment and regional employment. Honestly, we connect a lot of individuals to employment in surrounding counties as well. We are a very regional focused community.
I had a customer come in today who was middle-aged man, who was almost on the verge of tears, shaking uncontrollably. He walked in and said he was laid off on Saturday, was his last day, and he had never been laid off before.
Oh, wow.
And that's why you want to come in.
Yeah.
Somebody knows what it's like. Well, here, I walked him through a couple different steps. He got on the phone, connected to unemployment services first, and then we could help him with the rest of the services that he'll need. It was vital for him he just knew where to go.
That's really helpful.
Yes.
A lot of people say that, especially nowadays, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Do you think that is the truth when it comes to seeking jobs, or what was your...
I think who knows you
yeah,
is more important.
That's true.
I think there are a couple of pieces to that. You do want to have a network because a lot of jobs are not necessarily posted online, and it's specific to the industry too. More professional more professional workforce, more professional employers tend to use technology means in order to make those connections. But oftentimes you also go to an employee and say, hey, do you know somebody who's looking for work? And depending on the industry, a lot of it's word of mouth. So if you're only looking online, if you're only looking in the traditional ways for job searching, then you're not going to know all of the jobs that are out there. And networking is what allows you to do that.
There's also informational interviewing, and that can be done through social media, LinkedIn and whatnot, but also to get tips and pointers to go out to talking to employers that might not be advertising, like you said, developing your own jobs and getting information about that.
Well, that has been a huge trend. I've heard of people putting up billboards outside of a potential employer saying, hire me. So there's a lot of different ways to do that, absolutely. The one thing I would say, though, is that who you know gets you in the door, but what you know and how you present yourself is what gets you that opportunity. So I think, to answer your question, it's a combination of the two.
Well, lastly, what advice do you guys have to give to job seekers seeking a job?
Okay, this is my mantra. If it is meant to be for you to get that job, there's nothing you can say to mess it up. If it's not meant for you to be, then there's nothing you can say to convince them to hire you. So I always tell people to imagine yourself in a long, long line. You're at a college event and you're waiting in line. The next person. The person at the front of the line gets that job. But if you stop searching and you give up and you get out of line, you just have to go to the back of the line. So keep in the line. Keep knowing that your opportunity is coming. And there are plenty of opportunities out there.
I really like that.
Thank you.
I would definitely say never give up, and I think that's part of what she is saying, is searching for a job is not easy, especially one of your first jobs or your first job out of an education program, for example. So never give up on that piece. The other thing that I would say, especially for Solano Community College individuals, is that during the spring break in 2018, we will actually be hosting a career fair here on campus in partnership with Solano Community College. So we're really excited about that, and that's a great way to engage with businesses, to get a sense of what they're looking for and the types of opportunities that are out there.
Well, thank you so much, Heather and Sheryl, for joining me here today, and thank you for all that you do for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. This has been another episode of It's More Than Just Sports right here on the Solano College Sports Network. I'm Myckena Guerrero, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
The exponential growth from the program from my first year to my third year now, that's what keeps me coming back and keeps me excited and just like fulfills me as a person.
I've been taking classes here for years now, so I've never actually had a class that I enjoyed quite like this one.
You know, I think it teaches you a lot about, it's confidence building to me.
It's so impressive, and we every time we walk in here, you guys are doing something different. It's great. It's great.
Nothing but opportunities here, and we have sports to cover, we have the equipment.
Because the more ambitious you are, the more opportunities you'll have. And POF with this program lets you be as ambitious as you want and lets you express yourself the way a teacher should let you.
So, like I said, it's really gratifying to us to be able to help in a way where we can see immediate results. And I think the sky's the limit, really, with what we can do here.
Get the hands-on experience.
I mean, on-the-job training is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge in this industry.
joining the class was the best decision I ever made.
Cut three, hold your shot. Stand by, we're gonna go to cut one.